Welcome back to GTU. Kids may be itching for a break from school, and sometimes a mental health day can help.
Here to talk about the trends and how schools can support their students is the founder of eLuma, Jeremy Glauser. And Jeremy, let's talk about the findings of the study that eLuma just did with the state of our mental health for our kids.
Yes, it's a big focus. 88% of its school administrators mark mental health as one of their top priorities. And it's an incredibly important issue, especially because COVID shined the light on an underlying crisis. So now's the time to address many of those issues.
You know what's really interesting is we now talk about mental health days a lot for our kids, and they've needed them here and there. And when I was little, we didn't have that vocabulary, and we never had that option. But you say schools now are giving them to their staff. So, of course, we take kids into consideration. Tell us how eLuma works. Is it all online? Do you go into schools?
Absolutely. Everything we do is through remote telehealth work. So we contract with schools. We partner with them. We have school psychologists, mental health counselors, licensed school social workers. And they're meeting with the kids in real time through video conferencing. And we provide the tools and the platform and the content so that they can meet the needs of these kids.
And back to that survey, right? Anxiety, the most prevalent mental health challenge, and there's a significant lack of confidence in K through 12. That's a big, important focus right there.
It is. When we talk about mental health, it's important to distinguish what that means. It's really referring to anxiety and depression and other disorders or issues that we can't necessarily see. And so when we're talking about the issues that kids are facing, it's really important that we're thinking about how to address anxiety in the environment. So in schools, we talk about climate, we talk about social emotional learning, we talk about mental health literacy. And sometimes we even talk about it in terms of a mental health day, but in reality, it's an ongoing practice that is day to day. It's something that we need to pay attention to through just habits each and every day.
It's an important reminder to say this is K through 12 that we're talking about.
Yes.
I mean, throughout all of school, but just remembering that young kids feel these things too, and this might be your kids, it might be your grandkids. So what is the eLuma curriculum like? What will they learn and discuss?
Yeah, it does span K through 12, and addressing it early through a preventative approach is the best way, because we can do things that are simple, like mindfulness or working on our breath, finding ourself in our present situation.
It's coping mechanisms that kids are not taught necessarily at home.
Right. Yeah, and families really are the core place to teach these. And we have families look so different all over the place. And schools end up as a wonderful auxiliary to the family unit. And so we provide a lot of support in schools. And unfortunately, schools are strapped. So there's this evolution that we're going through. And mental health is becoming a proactive part of what schools' involvement is. And I think that's a good thing.
Which is so hopeful, to be honest,
I want you to go back to when you said mental health is a daily practice. You said something off camera that I really liked, kind of equating it to brushing your teeth and how it has to be implemented a little bit every day.
A good friend of mine has done a lot of research on mindfulness activities. And what she told me was, in a very important research, I went back, looked it up, and learned on my own. In the early 1900s, oral health care was a big issue. And there was a lot of debate, a lot of scientific studies around it. And one doctor introduced the simple practice of brushing your teeth. And people were naysayers. But the reality is today, we know that brushing our teeth every day prevents issues in our mouth that ultimately affects our body's health. Mental health is the same. If we have a practice of taking a moment to be mindful, taking care of ourselves by moving, going outside, eating healthy. Each person's a little different, but as we gain literacy around our own mental health and incorporate those into our daily practice, it will go a long way.
It really does take a community, the school, the family life, and also organizations like yourself. What are some of the signs of distressed kids?
You know, kids who have a change of behavior, a change of temperament, those are typical signs. Those are the obvious ones. The harder ones that are the internalized ones. So we need to have a practice of adults not judging kids when they do come to us with an issue. It might be common for us to cast a judgment through our own experience. I've got 5 kids, My wife and I are very busy people, but we have a practice of listening to our kids and doing our best to understand what their challenges are. And so the adult-child relationship of trust will help with these internalized, unseen challenges that hopefully give us an opportunity to guide them to help.
Yeah. Another good reminder, don't cast the judgment on your kids based on your own experience. It's a new time. I love the message. All right, eLuma.com for more. And of course, follow along on social media as well. What a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
By the way, this is free. So anyone
Yes.
can hop online right now and check out and have these tips and tools in your back pocket for families and schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you.